Hey guys! So in this tutorial I'm going to show you how I make my exploding box. So we do have a lot of pieces here. There's a ton to this. It's really not that much though once you actually start putting it together. It looks very intimidating, but don't let it scare you, okay? So we have a ton of stuff here and you don't have to use it all. That is the awesome thing about this, and you can make other things with it too. You don't have to use what is just in the template. So this is our main part of the box. This here is our lid. Then we have our pieces that are going to go on the outside for a little design. These are for the pockets. We have these so we can write on them and stick them on top of the pockets or on the boxes. These here, the red is the back of the pull cards and the white goes on the top of it. So I did not draw on them yet, so I am going to hop on and off of this video because if I was to just record it from start to finish, we'd be here for a while because it is a lot of detail. So these do take a little while to make, but again, they're very fun and it's an awesome way to give somebody a little bit more of a personalized gift. So to begin, we're going to go ahead and jump right in and start with the lid. So usually what I do with these, I usually use my adhesive tape gun. But I placed an order for a refill for the tape because I've been out of it for a little while and it's still on back order. So I have little photo squares that we can use, and I also have double-sided tape. And this will show you guys that you don't need anything fancy to put this together either. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, and you do have to score these. So you will see where they are scored. And everywhere it's scored, you need to push it down. So it's scored here, so you want to make sure that you push it down. So like I said, pretty much everywhere you're going to go ahead and push down. So this is the lid here to the box. And we're just going to go ahead and keep working our way around. Okay, now that these four are pushed down, the reason why these tabs are here is because this is where your glue or your tape or whatever else, you can hot glue it, you can use regular glue as well. But this is where any of your adhesive is going to go, and it's going to stick to this part because this does bend down as well. So you're going to go ahead and fold these two, just like so. So since this one is folded, I'm going to go ahead and fold this one here. Sometimes it's easier to fold it under a light so you can actually see where the fold is, because sometimes it is very hard to see. I'm trying to show you guys where the folds are and how they crease. So we'll fold this. So again, this is why we fold all the edges first. The only ones that have the creases or the that need to be folded is the box itself and the lid. So right here, it's kind of off. Where's it off? Up here. All right. We're gonna go ahead and fix that. And this is gonna get pulled down some. All right, and then the last one is here. Oh, moving it away real quick just to see better. All right. So now that this is all folded, we can go ahead and put tape on all the ends. So it doesn't really matter if you make the pieces too big, you can always just go ahead and fold it right under. And then you just match up the edges here. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So the tape's there, and you're just going to match it to the box here. So it gets put together just like this. So again, you're gonna put the tape here on this corner and push that down, fold over if it's too big. And then we're going to match that with this side of the box. Okay, and then you're gonna do that to the other two sides here. So put this. So this video is going to be a little bit longer. So for this, I don't wanna hop on and off because the lid and the box are the main parts. So for that, it will be one long video. All right, just a little bit of extra tape there. So you kind of want to open that up some. So you just want to make sure that that slides right in. and goes right over there. And this is your lid. All right, so now one of these pieces are actually going to go on top of your lid. So this is double-sided, but I decided to use the candy cane, so I have the red accents. And I'm actually going, you can either use photo squares here or you can use double-sided tape. I'm just going to use double-sided tape for all this. And I'm actually just going to use 3 pieces. I'm going to put one here, here, and here. Doesn't have to be perfectly placed either. As long as it's on there, it's okay. And if you think you need more, you can always put more on. Okay, then you just want to match that up as best as you can. Alright, that looks pretty good to me, so I'm going to pick it up. Now you can put this on first if you want it to be flat. You can leave this open, put this piece on, and then fold the corners over. It's totally up to you. I'm going to go ahead and make sure this corner could probably use a little bit more tape, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. Just going to go in and stick it right on. Alright, I think that's pretty good. So that is your lid. It's not done yet. I mean, it's put together, and if you want it just like this, that's fine. But at the end, you can always go ahead and you can add anything that you really want to the top if you like. So I have all different size things here. So you can even add this, you can add it to the front here, down at the bottom, you can have it hang off even. You can put the person's name on this if you would like. Or you could even put it on the side of the lid if you really don't want it on the top. So you can really decide what you want to do and how you want to do it. You can even just put a simple circle on it. You don't have to put anything on it at all. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and move this to the side and then pull the big part of the box over. All right, now I just went ahead and moved everything out of our way because it does take a little bit of room to go ahead and work with this. This is 11.25 by 11.25 inches. So it is a decent sized box. Once it's folded up, it's obviously smaller, but when you're working on it, you definitely need some room. So for this one, to be able to tell which way it needs to face you, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm trying to put it as close as possible, but the side that you see the score marks, that's the side that you want facing up. Okay, so you just want to go ahead and you want to just make sure that you score every single piece. So you want to just go ahead and fold everything everywhere that has a score. So you just want to make sure that you have those creases. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do that and then I'll be right back. All right, now you can see here that all of my creases have been folded. So now you can start with one of 2 steps. The remaining 4 of the 5 candy cane pieces that are full are going to go on the sides here, 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 and here. And then all of these half pieces are actually going to be lined up here. So it doesn't matter which one you start with first, but I recommend whichever one you start with, you do that all the way around and then you do the opposite. So I'm going to go ahead and do the half pieces. I'm going to show you how to do one side and then I'm going to finish the rest of them. And then I'll hop back on to show you how to attach the big ones. All right, so to begin, it doesn't really matter which side you have folded down. So you can pick, and they don't all have to be folded the exact same way, but it's totally up to you. So this side is going to go down. So you want to make sure that you put a very thin piece of tape here to stick to here, but you definitely want to make sure it's very thin because then if it comes all the way up to here, your card can't slide down. Okay, so just one piece of tape all the way across to here. And I'm going to go ahead and use my double-sided tape. And I'm going to get as close to the edge as possible. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that on. And I do need a little bit more because you want to bring it over to the edge. I'm going to go ahead and overlap that. And that looks good. And then if anything's sticking out, you can just fold it over. And now this is going to go ahead and get pushed in. So just make sure it lines up with the bottom. And you're going to push that down like that. Then you're going to take your one piece and you're going to go ahead and put it on. Now all of these pieces are the exact same size. So it does not matter which one goes on which. They are all the exact same. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a few pieces of tape on. All right, and I think I might put a little bit here, just in case. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put that right on. I think I like it right like that. Okay. Now we're gonna put a line of tape right here. And that's just gonna go right across. And then I'm gonna do one up this way. So you definitely wanna see how much tape you need. I actually don't think I need too much more up there, so I'm actually just gonna leave it here. Now, one thing I didn't mention is you definitely wanna make sure that the tape stops before. You don't want it to go all the way out to here, or else you will see the tape. So you want to make sure, it's probably easier to put the tape on the white side instead of underneath like I just did. So this way you can see where it's at. Then you're going to take another piece and then you're going to put tape on that. One this way. And just one little piece in the middle. Then I'm going to go ahead and take this and I'm going to put it on the side here. And I'm actually going to show you guys, I know I said do one way, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys real quick how to put this on the other side. It's super easy. I'm just going to open these up. Like I said, whoops, sorry guys, just moved you. I do recommend doing one at a time. So once I go ahead and hop off, I'm going to finish doing the insides first. And these will be a little bit upside down. You can attempt to try and match it as best as you can, but they're all going to go in different directions. But that's the fun thing about candy canes. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and put my tape on. And I'm going to go this way. Just a few pieces. We'll do 4 for this one. And now they're going to be sticking up like this. So I want to put it on this way. So this is going to be the best way to attach it. After you do these, lift it up and then put it on. Because if you turn it around, you'll be working upside down, only because when the board is up, they'll be faced up like this, and then the lid is going to go on like this. Okay? All right, so I'm going to hop off and finish that up, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so now I am completely done front and back. So as you can see, the candy canes are all facing the same way this side, but this side they are a little crazy. But again, that's the fun of candy canes. So now when we fold our box up to make sure everything fits, it's a little hard at first, but you get the hang of it. You kind of have to hold 3 sides. And then the 4th one you kind of have to use with the lid in your other hand. So you kind of put it in the lid first and then you work it all around. So sometimes it takes a few tries, but it gets easier. Now if you do hit a side, it can go in. So be careful, but that's if you stuff the box with something, it will have a little bit more weight to hold up. And then when you open it, that's when the sides will fall. So we are not done yet. So now we have our cards. So these are what you would write on. So you can either handwrite or you can have the Cricut write. I am going to have the Cricut write on some of these, and I'm going to show you guys in another video how to use Snap Mat for a few of you that have been asking how to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on these ones. And then when I come back, you'll see how they wrote and everything else and what it says. Now, one thing to try, so when I use my adhesive tape, it's a little bit thinner, but not by much. These cards are usually too big. So when you put them in, you can see here, I don't know how well you guys can see from that, but you can see here, they stick up. So one thing that you have to do is you have to go back and you have to trim them. So it's a lot easier if you have one of the, like the paper slicers or anything of the sort. I have one upstairs. So I'm going to run up and trim them, but you definitely want to have them trimmed a little bit, and then you might have to trim the white card too, because the white fits perfectly on the red. So as you can see there, you would usually put it on top. So if you still want it to overlap like this, you're still gonna have to trim them both. Now the white here is still, it just fits the white. So the white would just fit. So you almost wanna cut the red down to the size of the white and then recut the white down a little bit more on each side. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop off, and I'm gonna go ahead and add my writing to these, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so now that I have went over and did the drawing on the cards, I'm ready to put these together, and I did slice them down a little bit. So now I'm just going to go ahead and flip these over and add some tape to them. I'm just going to show you how to do one of them, and then I'm going to hop off and do the rest. Alright, so 3 pieces of tape should be enough. And I'm just going to go ahead and line it up as best as I can. I don't know if you see, but there's like a texture on this side and it's flat on that side. I like the flat side, so I'm going to go ahead and line it up here. Something like that's good. I could have cut off a little bit more white, but that's okay. Now what we need to do is you can either, before I tape this down, I like to put mine on the back, so that's why I tape mine down. But if you would like, you have to put ribbon on them or something, so this way you have something to pull them in and out easier. So I'm just using plain white 1/4 inch ribbon. And I like to put mine on the back. You can either do one piece or you can make loops. I'm going to go ahead and make a loop out of mine. So I don't really have a measurement for them. You're just going to cut them where you want. Then I'm going to reach over to here. And then you're going to go ahead and make sure that the edges are all nice and sealed. You will need a glue gun for this if you go ahead and put it over. And I prefer to glue mine on the back sometimes, but it really doesn't matter. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here. Tiny bit. I'm actually going to attempt to leave my glue gun there, but it's not going to work. Now I'm just going to match these over. It really doesn't have to be big at all because it's just a little pull tab. It could be a little bit bigger than that, but this is fine for me. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue at the very end here. If you want all your things to definitely be the same size, and I would definitely measure them. But if you don't really care if they're the same size or not, you can just cut them how you want. Oh, stuck to my finger. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this onto the back. Just going to put it there. Move that glue down a little. That looks pretty good there. So like I said, you only want a little bit to be able to pull it, and that's what it looks like on the back. But if you want that hidden there, you can always put it in between the two, but it will sit up a little bit. The top part will be raised. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do that with all of my cards, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so they are officially put together. The ribbon is on all of them, and they are all taped together. Now it's time to insert your cards. Now if you want, you can skip one of these, or you can even take the white off. You can put a gift card on top. Gift cards do fit. You can pretty much do whatever you want in them, or you can still write and add a gift card on top of it, or you can just make this for somebody just to make it and not even put anything else in it. It's totally up to you. I'm just going to slide these in. I'm not really particular about where each saying goes because they're all pretty generic. So one thing that you can do is you can put a little something inside if you want, and this is where you can start adding your extra pieces at. Now I wasn't thinking when I did so much white because the white on white, but you can do the snap mat and draw on these. You can add different things to them. You can put little circles on places, like I can put a heart here and then add it to here if I wanted to. I really don't want to take away from the candy canes too much, and the butterflies and all don't really go, but you can actually fold the butterflies and put a little dot of hot glue there, and you can actually have them stick up like this, and it looks like they're flying, which is very cool and awesome. Another thing you can even do is with the flowers here. We have big flowers and small flowers. You can even take a thing, either your finger and pull them up like this. You can leave them flat too. Or you could take like scissors or a pencil and kind of like roll them up a little. And it almost looks like a 3D flower. and that can go on one of the sides too, or it could even go on the top of the box if you wanted it to. There's really so much you can do with all these, and like I said, you can cut out other shapes and designs. You also have the little cards here. You could put that on. Like I said, most of the time I would do them on the top with whoever's name on them. Since I'm just making this just for fun, I decided not to put any specific name. So if I do want to give it to somebody, I can add it later on. And then like I said, you can always put a gift in here. You can always put gift cards in the pocket. You can even put a little thing of candy in here. I made one for my dad for Father's Day last year, and I kind of filled it up with a little bit of candy. It is a little deep. You couldn't fit like a whole box of candy in there, like if you go to the dollar store, like the supermarket, but you can definitely fit if you like open up a bag of like Hershey Kisses or something that's sealed like that individually. You can definitely put some on the inside. You can fit a decent amount of stuff in here. So just to show you, I'll stick the tape in. I know that's a little weird, but that's what the tape looks like inside, and it can still be closed. So just a little idea. So I'm going to go ahead and close it up. I'm going to pinch the sides there. So like I said, it is a pain sometimes with the lid, but this is what it looks like closed. And then since they call it an exploding box, it's because when you take the lid off, it all falls open. Alright guys, well that's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any other questions, comments, or anything else, feel free to email me or you can comment below. I will have all the information in the description as well as the link to the file for the SVG for the Cricut Design Space to be able to make this project. Alright guys, have a good one.